Now, every once in a while, my producers like to get me to do things they know I don't like. So I've eaten durian. I've had bugs let loose in the studio. I've even gotten wrist deep in cow fertilizer. Today is one of those days. So Chef Dev is here to take the food I hate the most and try to convince me to love it. Stu, tell the people what we're talking about.
While many might think it's wiggly jiggly jello or gloopy creamed corn, Tracy's most hated food is okra.
Okay, there you have it. I am resigned to my fate. Dev is standing by in the Cityline LG kitchen. Dev, you got to make me like this dish. Take it away.
Tracy, I loved when you said that you didn't like okra, because you're not the only person. Okra tends to be very slimy due to something called mucilage. Mucilage is found in a lot of plants. Have you heard of it before?
No, but it sounds as gross as it tastes. Mucilage? Ew!
Mucilage. It's essentially found in all plants and microorganisms. It's what I can remind you of is like aloe vera, that slimy texture.
Yes.
So that's found in okra. So how do we get away from this slimy texture? Because okra is delicious. It's robust. It's versatile. It's a beautiful ingredient. Growing up in a West Indian household, my mother, we'd call it okra. And then growing up also with South Asian influence, bhindi masala, or bhindi. And now we're gonna do a little rendition of that. So I wanna get started on this dish, and I'm gonna be sending some over to you, and I know you're gonna like it. So I have some oil in the pan. We're gonna start by sauteing off some onions. So this is finely chopped white onions. Right now we are building flavor. And what I also wanna do is, I'm gonna add in some tomato. What I also wanna do is I wanna get the moisture out of these vegetables. Okra tends to be slimy when it is cooked and it is wet, or it's cooked on a low temperature. Take gumbo, for example. That's a low and slow process. It ends up being very slimy. To cook okra and not have it slimy, you need to cook it on a high heat. Salt, bring out the moisture. Let's start layering that flavor. Here I have ginger and garlic paste. So they're both right here. That's gonna go in, and we're gonna start building some flavor in this pan. Now, when you wash your okra, it's very important that you pat it dry completely. Any moisture in the pan is going to result in you getting a slimy texture. Also, cutting it too thin or using very large okra, you want to find nice tight okra, nice firm okra. Wash it well, but dry it and pat it dry even better. Moisture is the enemy. Tracy, once you try this today, do you think you'll continue to eat it if you like it? Or are you scarred for life?
Are you going to continue to make it for me? No, here's the thing. I'm going to try the dish. I'm going to rate it on taste and on texture. I was expecting to see a deep fryer because I thought to myself the only way to make okra not slimy is to like deep fry the life out of it. But you're not doing that, but you're going to do your cooking on a high heat, and I have faith in you.
I think that deep frying, covering it in a batter like semolina or something that you like, a fish taco type batter or a tempura batter, you could do that and it'll remove some of the stickiness, but it's a bit of cheating and I didn't want to do that. The majority of people will saute it in a pan or cook it in this type of application, so I wanted to make sure that I approached it from that angle. Another tip is soaking it in vinegar, but I don't like doing that because of the flavor transfer, of course, but using a souring agent. In this case, I'm using Amchur, which is here. This is dried green mango powder. I use it in a lot of my recipes, very popular in South Asian cuisine. So dried mango powder will bring a lot of that acidity. What I'm gonna do, and it smells amazing over here already, what I wanna do is cook this mixture down and get the moisture out of it. Turmeric, chili powder, garam masala, amchur, ginger, garlic, and we're gonna add in some green chili into this as well. While this is cooking, I'm gonna bring in another pan. This pan has been behind me preheating. Now, Tracy, and to everybody watching, normally I would do this all in one pan. I'd saute everything off, remove it, and then I cook the okra, and then I fold that mixture back in. But due to the timing that we have today, I just thought I'd use two pans, but I'm a big fan of using one cooking vessel, trapping all that flavor in here. So Tracy, we have our okra here, ginger garlic out of the way. I'm just gonna remove the stem, and I'm gonna slice down into maybe 1/2-inch pieces. So this is what I'm looking for here, okay?
Okay.
So nice, This is nice and fresh, and what I'm going to do is get my pan nice and hot. We're looking for a hard sear here, and you're going to see this in the dish that I send over to you. Nice hot pan, okra goes in. I'm not going to add any salt just yet. What does salt do, Tracy?
It's going to dehydrate it or take all of the liquid out of it.
Salt will bring out the moisture. So let's put this in here. Make sure you have a decent amount of oil just to barely coat the bottom. You see this mixture here, this is just jam packed with flavor. I can smell that dried mango, the chili, the turmeric, ginger garlic, tomato. The onions are caramelizing, and that's going to bring a nice sweetness. So this is going to keep going behind me.
That looks really
here,
good, Dev. I mean, you never skimp on spices, so I love that about you.
I appreciate that. And while you're mentioning spices, I also have coriander that I ground. Anytime you can grind your own spices, I think it's very important that you do that. You can see how it's coarse, you can see the shell, and that's going to go into that as well. I forgot about that. Over here, we have the okra, and Tracy, I want to take a lot of credit for this dish, but I can't. It's something that I've grown up eating at temple. It's something that was at family functions. I ate a lot at the host growing up too, and this is a dish that they always had. So we're just going to toss, and you can see that we're getting some really nice color here. So if we can get a close up there, you can see how we're getting a nice char.
Yeah.
And the higher the heat, we can grill, we can deep fry, we can cook in a cast iron, but the higher the heat is, the less slimy it's going to get. I can't stress enough that it gets slimy when you cook it low and slow. Tracy, can you see that this is getting a lot drier?
Yeah, it looks really, really good. And I'm just wondering, is the okra actually going to, I know you're going to add it to that, but is it actually going to be crunchy?
No, the okra is not going to have a crunch unless we batter it. Then it won't have that. Semolina would be a really good idea, or even just flour and cornstarch. But no, this is a soft dish. This is not a curry type dish, but it's like a rustic, coarse curry style. It's like a very, it's a complex and intricate stir fry, if you will. So I'm actually going to turn the heat up even more. It's searing well, but I want it to go even hotter. We're starting to get really nice color. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this mixture. I do want to cook it out a little bit more. Again, still haven't added salt to the okra. I don't want to do that till the end. The masala mixture, the tomato spice, ginger garlic mixture has been seasoned pretty well. Tracy, here is the final dish. You can see that we have a beautiful color. I've garnished with green chilies. You can garnish with some lemon juice as well, or some sliced ginger, even cilantro. Tip at home, don't forget, a souring agent will help remove the sliminess. So lemon juice, in this case, I used the dried green mango powder known as amchur. But with the tips that you guys have today, I trust that you'll be making not so slimy okra in your near future.
Okay, we're going to see about it right now, Dev, because look what just arrived. So I am going to test this on taste and texture. It's going to be out of 3 stars, all right? I'm going to start with taste. Geez, it's still looking a little soft if you ask me. Okay, taste. It tastes amazing. 3 on 3 for taste. Texture? Well, listen, I'm going in for more. That's got to be a good sign. It's not slimy. It's not crunchy, but it's not slimy. I'm giving it a 2 out of 3 for texture. I would eat this. I would do this if Chef Dev would make it for me again. Really good job, Chef Dev. It is okra done in a way I've never tried before, and it's really good. I got to give it up for him. Very nice.